Animal Crossing is a beloved franchise that, for one reason or another, I've never really taken a look at in the past. But with Animal Crossing New Horizons releasing for the Nintendo Switch, I figured there was no better time to find out what all the fuss was about. Now I'm $2 million in debt to a raccoon, and for the most part, I'm really enjoying myself. The game starts by dropping players on a deserted island alongside a handful of random villagers, including notorious loan shark Tom Nook, before asking you to develop your home and the island itself to attract more villagers. These developments can take a number of different forms. Home expansions come saddled with loans that need to be repaid, new homes need furniture to be crafted from the island's raw materials, and special locations like the museum require you to donate exhibits. But to be honest, the game is pretty relaxed about it all. There aren't any consequences for leaving your loans unpaid for a while, and if you're happy with your island's progress, then there's no need to rush its development. Animal Crossing New Horizons is just a really laid-back time, and I feel like a lot of that is thanks to the franchise's use of a real-time clock. Your days progress through a standard 24-hour cycle, which impacts most of the game's features. Bugs and fish have certain times of day that they're active, the store that gets built early on has business hours between 8 AM and 10 PM, and construction projects like house expansion and bridge building take until the following morning to complete. Hell, even obtaining resources like wood and iron works on a daily schedule, as trees and rocks can only be mined once per day. This makes it so that New Horizons isn't overwhelming players with an onslaught of things to do all the time, but early on I think it could probably stand to give you a bit more to do. The first few days on the island have you repaying small loans while limiting the amount of museum exhibits you can actually donate, and it can feel like a directionless grind when you're left with so much time to fill. Sure, you can just fish endlessly and try to make money, or stock up on fish and bugs to donate in the future, and there are a couple of repeating side quests that show up every so often, but if you're not into making your own fun, then waiting an entire day for the game state to progress can be pretty frustrating. To its credit, New Horizons does offer a set of challenges titled the Nook Mileage Program that can give you some basic direction. These challenges encompass a wide array of activities from planting trees to fishing trash out of rivers, and you're rewarded with a secondary currency which is mostly separate to any loans you'll have to repay. You're also given access to a handful of rotating challenges that give you fewer rewards but are functionally infinite, so if you're really struggling with what to do next, Nook Mile challenges are always on hand. They even give you access to the Nook Miles Mystery Tour function, which lets you explore and pillage randomly generated islands for resources when your island is tapped for the day. With all that said, if you are adept at making your own fun, then Animal Crossing New Horizons has a decent amount to offer you. On top of the fishing and bug catching, you're given a surprising amount of freedom in terms of customization. Early on, you can dig up and relocate entire trees, or plant entirely new ones, or craft various decorations and pieces of furniture, assuming you've found a DIY recipe for the object in question. And with these items, you can really personalize your space, whether that's your actual house or the island in general. Making your own fun also becomes much easier as you progress further. For instance, you can start to explore the furthest reaches of your island thanks to a steady influx of useful tools, while further customization options like building relocation and island terraforming can become pretty engrossing if you have a specific vision in mind for your island home. You can even make custom designs in-game or import designs via QR code if you're feeling particularly artistic, and these tools are surprisingly user-friendly. I made this channel's logo into my town flag, and I'm an idiot. Regardless of what you want to do, whether we're talking about settling your debts with Tom Nook or paying for a new bridge, you're gonna need money, and there are plenty of ways to get it. You can sell bugs and fish that you catch or fossils that you dig up, but that's just scratching the surface, and to be honest, it can get pretty tedious after a while. For those less enthusiastic about catching bugs and fish, the store deals in hot items as well as the stock market, which are both handy money-making tools. Hot items change from day to day and let you sell the item in question for twice its usual value, while the stock market revolves around buying turnips on Sunday mornings and trying to sell them for the most profit in the following week. Not only do these elements change on a regular basis, they also change from island to island, which encourages use of Animal Crossing New Horizons multiplayer features. If your turnip selling price is dropping, then you can always fly on over to a friend's island to offload for a better price. Their store will also have different hot items which you can also take advantage of. Actually, there are a few different systems that encourage playing with others. In addition to stock market and hot item changes, each island gets its own native fruit, and selling that fruit in a foreign market makes 5 times the amount that it does on your home island. On top of that, visiting the island of someone in the opposite hemisphere will give you access to entirely new species of bugs and fish. So all in all, Animal Crossing's multiplayer is worth checking out for sure. On the other hand, New Horizons local multiplayer isn't quite as glowing. While simply having local multiplayer on offer is appreciated, limiting players to one island per Nintendo Switch is a weird design choice. It's not a huge issue for me personally because I'm a mature adult who can communicate with my girlfriend, but with Animal Crossing being such a kid-friendly game, I can see it complicating matters for families with a few kids sharing a single console. With so many customizable elements like your island's name, flag, tune, and the locations of buildings, the idea of having multiple users stepping on each other's toes sounds like a nightmare to me. Even if you are able to communicate with your friends to make an island you all want to live on, there's something really underwhelming about starting a new game and already having the world state progress to a certain stage. You miss out on so many elements, like having your own randomized villages at the start or helping the town grow from nothing. Really, this design choice is just baffling to me. But if you're okay with missing out on some of those early game elements, then there's still lots to love about Animal Crossing New Horizons, like its charming and wholesome presentation. Its visuals are bright and colourful, and there's something really endearing about Animal Crossing's simple approach to character design. I also really like how jarringly realistic the game's fish and insects look in comparison. It's bizarre for sure, but it always brings a smile to my face. Similarly, New Horizons' soundtrack is really enjoyable. At times it can be pretty sparse, with the odd strum of a guitar being the only thing to break through the island's relaxing ambiance, but there's also a handful of really catchy tunes thrown in for good measure as well. There's also something undeniably cute about the villagers' gibberish voices, which fit perfectly with their adorable designs. I just love them so much. If it's adorable looking cruisy sound design are enough to get you in the door, then there's a good chance you'll like what Animal Crossing New Horizons has to offer, but as with most games, your mileage will vary. For those of you who don't mind taking the game at its own pace and spending most of your time trying to make money, then New Horizons will reward you with a bunch of cool little details and secrets. From the shooting stars that you can wish upon, to money trees that you can plant after digging up sacks of money, the game would constantly catch me off guard with little things that were neat but totally unexpected. On the one hand, you could say that Animal Crossing New Horizons doesn't tell you a lot beyond the basics, but I kinda like that. What's a game without some secrets, you know? With that all said, Animal Crossing New Horizons is excellent. The game is bound to frustrate folks who don't want to wait around or don't like setting their own goals, but for those who do, Animal Crossing New Horizons is a great time. It's a very chilled out experience, and I was really impressed by the amount of customization the game offered at various levels. Seriously, between clothing, home decorations, and literally altering the landscape, you have so many options. I also feel like its online multiplayer feels genuinely worthwhile, and although the situation regarding the game's local multiplayer is rather bizarre, it's nice to see that it's at least an option, even if that option isn't ideal. As a newcomer to the series, I've thoroughly enjoyed my first week with the game, so take that for what you will.